Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is draw in my line that marks where the mat will go. And then I think I'll start with the line between the water and the land here. So all of this is pretty close together, and I just want to be sure that I have a sense of these lines going back. So I'm just exaggerating a little bit the spaces here so that it's obvious what things are in front. Yes, once again, I forgot that I could put my chair up higher so that I could reach everything better. So if you're using really white paper, do not do this. Do not do what I am doing. But on any kind of colored paper, the pastel will cover up all this charcoal. I just want to have some of these marker trees in here. Sadly, I got them in the wrong place. I don't know how I feel about the kayak yet. I was going to move it closer. I'm just going to wait and see on it. Just leave it there for now. Okay. Alrighty, here we go. Oh, this. All right, so I do have this photograph blurred. At least I think I do. I don't know. It's hard to know. My glasses are so bad, but I think I do. And I'm going to do what I did on the last one, and that is I'm going to try to start things a little on the dark side. And I don't know why, but I'm going to start with the reflections in the water. Also, I started with the world's tiniest piece, which I really should have known was not going to make it to the end there. And I guess I'll do the same thing up here. Okay, that's so brown. Okay. And maybe you remember what I said about red is that red is a problem in pastels, and if you're going to use red, you need to go ahead and use it and then put your other colors on top of it, because red is very hard color, as in physically hard, and it's hard to make it doesn't go down very well on top of soft colors, so you want to just go ahead and use it first. What is up with you? Oh, so I just thought of something kind of interesting. Maybe I felt like when I looked at people's work from the last couple of weeks that things are all too much the same. And maybe that's because look how much I'm starting things the same. I'm trying not to use a million different colors here. So I've got the same darks going all the way back. I don't have tremendous distance here, so maybe it's not as bad, but even though I might start everything really similar like this, I'm going to pull it apart later to create the depth so that these things don't run together, like right here and right here. Having that red in the back and the red in the front, it just runs them right together, and you don't want that. But this is just what we would call a rough draft or a sloppy copy, maybe. Yeah, so you can start simple like this, but then later you do want to definitely start breaking things up. So in the fall, I'm using my oranges and reds and things for foliage that actually is orange and red. So it means I can't really use it as much as I normally would in my greens and stuff, because it doesn't I don't know, it doesn't make sense. It's like you don't have anything left then. Yeah, but look, I did it anyway. Okay, I'll just do it anyway. Let's just see what happens. But remember, it's all about contrasting and comparing. And so if, yeah, I mean, if things really are orange, then it's hard to use orange in other areas. But maybe if I just, by coming right back over it, maybe that's okay. Do this back here too. Oh, what the heck? And once you draw these little lines, geez, just a minute, get rid of that red line. Once you've got these little outlines here, for your composition, if you can remember to come back up to the edge, it can save you a lot of heartache later. Okay, so now we got our stones. Seems like there's some purple in there too. Yeah, probably let those get too light, didn't I? Okay, so now there's the start. Now we're just going to try to make it better. I'm not going to maybe break it up anymore. I'm just going to try to make each of those areas better that I already have going. Right now, I'm not worrying about what area I work on first or last, but the last time over your painting, to really make the things that are in front be in front, it's a great plan to work from the back to the front. Start with the sky and then just keep working back. And that way the things that are closer will literally be on top of the things that are further back. Okay, what is the problem with you? I use a lot of pressure when I'm painting, so it really, I need my easel to be stable. And another thing you can work on, I work on it all the time, it always feels awkward, is that if you're right-handed, your strokes will just go like this. If you're left-handed, they'll go like this. So if you can try to force yourself to turn your hand so that your strokes are maybe going more with the form. The thing about landscape is there's so much texture that I'm really doing a textured stroke right away here. I got messed up on that tree. Here you are. So, I don't think I've talked about this in a while, but that you have these certain tools when you're painting, and that's sort of all the tools you have. So the first one is your composition, and that's figuring out what you want to paint and the format you want to paint it in, and looking at the positive and the negative shapes, which is the positive shapes are the stuff and the negative shapes are the spaces in between the stuff. And then the first stage of your drawing is also composition. Just figuring out how everything is going to fit on the page. And then you have your drawing, which is trying to get things more accurate. And then color and value. And then the things we don't get to so much because these are short demonstrations and I never really finished them. I don't know, we'd have to do like 4 weeks, I think, of the same painting, and maybe we should sometime, but the things we don't really get to are texture and edges. So if you're trying to create distance, which in landscape, distance is the big problem, how to create distance, depth. If you want to, you don't have to, but if you wanted to create depth, then how do you do that? And so, like with composition or drawing, let's just start with drawing. With drawing, you make things smaller as they get further away. You can make the colors not quite as vibrant as they get further away. You can make the value contrast less, there goes the cat, as you get further away. And then with texture, is you're going to have more texture in places that are closer, and you're going to have less texture in things that are further away. And that will help bring the things that are closer to you, it brings them closer, because more texture, more interest, the more things you can see, then your eye knows, or the viewer's eye knows, that that means something is closer. So, when you're driving down the highway, if you can do this without wrecking your car, you know those mountains that are far away from you, you know they have as much texture as the mountains that are close to you, but you're not going to show as much. I mean, you can't see as much, literally, anyway, because as things get further away, you can't see the same level of detail. So that's what you can do in your paintings, too, to make them go back, to make things go back, is show less detail and texture is what we're using to translate into detail, because I don't want to draw every one of these little blades of grass or whatever. So I'm trying to use a stroke all the time that conveys a lot of meaning. So, and by that, what I'm saying is that, like these little jaggedy strokes, hopefully those start to convey some sense that that's a super textured thing, as opposed to, you know, like smearing it down and then, yeah, I don't know, sorry, I'm kind of sick today. Yeah, so, okay, so texture, more texture brings things for closer, less texture sends things further back. And the last thing is edges, and edges are something that are made up. They're not real, because wherever you look is going to be in focus and have a hard edge. And what you are going to do as an artist is you're going to decide where the viewer is going to look. That's part of your job. And you're going to do that by making some more crisp edges, stronger colors, stronger strokes. Yeah. So edges are the only thing in my painting that is what you would call academic. So I'm not looking, because I can't look, because wherever I look is going to be in focus. So I have to pick and choose where I'm going to look. And so if you have something like right here, say, let's say I try to make this really in focus right there. I'm not doing too well, but let's see, maybe some other color. So I want this to come out front, so I can do that by making these little hard edges, more variation along the edge, which translates into the viewer's eye as detail. And then if I do right here, if I do a similar thing of detail, then that's going to make that just pop out in front. And I don't want that to happen. I want that to go back. And I can't focus as a human. I can't focus on two things that are so close together. So I need this to be less in focus right behind here. I could make it more in focus somewhere else. I could pull it out again over there where it's not right behind. If I did a better job. So I could make this be more in front of the one behind it. Like that. And then knock this back a little more. And like right here on this rock, so just like you, if I focus here, that rock's in focus to me. If I focus here, this rock's in focus. So I'm just trying to make that show you a little bit how to make things go back. And sometimes what happens is when you're doing this, you're like, well, I really like that cool thing back there. I really wanted that to be kind of one of the centers of interest in my painting. And but now I can't because of the way it's in front of something else. And so sometimes what you have to do is you just have to say, well, I just have to paint it again. Oops, I didn't really mean to put that there. So the message I'm trying to convey right in that conversation is that you don't get to have everything in every painting. So I could make this a little more in focus as it comes here. out here away from that other rock. And I need to do something back there, don't I? So yeah, that line, that does go all the way over there like that. But maybe, maybe I don't get to have that. All right, so these are these things I've done right here to start showing you how to make some things in focus and some things out of focus. It's premature in this painting to be doing that. It's too early. It's but I never get to it, so I thought maybe I would try to show you. All right, let's see what's going on right in there. Kind of lost my water. I'm just going to redraw a little bit and try to make sure things are in front of each other. I definitely lost sight of that. Okay, there is a little edge here I did not notice before, but I think I might want that in there. Oh golly, okay, I think that's okay. The thing is, when you start kind of making things up and not doing what's really there, it's really hard to, it's just harder. Making up things makes things more difficult. I try not to have to do it because I don't feel like I have enough knowledge about everything in the world. All right, well, I got so off track with what I was talking about now that know if I can do something about that dang sky or not. And I let this whole business get too big right here. so all right, so yeah, so that's it for the first time over, and I'm gonna spray it. Things have gotten really gunky over here. It's hard when there's trees in front of the sky like that. It's hard in pastels. It'd be easier in some other medium. But I'm sure it'll all be fine in the end. Let's get that stuff back in there. Okay, that's it for now.